let there be sundews, and there were, or they've made their way here unaided, other than by that backhand, roundabout refusal to assume responsibility known as natural selection. But the sun underfoot is so dazzling, down there among the sundews, there is so much light in the cup, that looking, you start to fall upward.
The author was 58 years old and had lived in virtual obscurity for 37 years since she moved to Manhattan from her native Iowa, fresh out of college, in 1941. A manuscript of the finished poem among the author's papers is dated 5 January 1978. Beneath that date, in pencil, she is noted, "Accepted by the New Yorker, 378. Though not a youthful overnight success, she was now on a fast track with regard to publication. The New Yorker began to accept additional work. Almost 4 years later, January 11th, 1982, another poem. There would be a total of 48 in her lifetime, and 2 posthumously, appeared in the same magazine. The author used its title for that of her debut book, The Kingfisher, published by Alfred A. Knopf in 1983.
The Kingfisher. In a year, the nightingales were said to be so loud they drowned out slumber, and peafowl strolled screaming beside the ruined nunnery. Through the long evening of a dazzled pub crawl, the halcyon color, portholed by those eye spots stunning tapestry, unsettled the pastoral nightfall with amazement's opening. Months later, intermission in a pub on 55th Street found one of them still breathless, the other quizzical, acting the Philistine puncturing Stravinsky. Tell me, what was that racket in the orchestra about? Hauling down the Firebird, harum-scarum, like a kite. A burnished, breathing wreck that didn't hurt at all. Among the Bronx Zoo's exiled jungle fowl, they heard through headphones of a separating panic. The bellbird reiterate its single chong. A scream nobody answered. When he mourned, "The poetry is gone," she quailed, seeing how his hands shook, sobered into feeling old. By midnight, yet another 5th would have been killed. A Sunday morning, the November of their cataclysm, Dylan Thomas brought in extremis to St. Vincent's that same week, a symptomatic datum, found them wandering a downtown churchyard. Among its headstones, while from unruined choirs the noise of Christendom poured over Wall Street, a Benison Investments, a late thrush paused, in transit from some grizzled spruce bog to the humid equatorial fireside, berry-eyed, bark brown above, with dark hints of trauma in the stigmata of its underparts. Or so too bruised just then to have invented anything so fancy, later, re-embroidering a retrospect, she had supposed. In grey England, years of muted recrimination, then dead silence. Later, she could not have said how many spoiled takeoffs, how many entanglements gone sodden, how many gaudy evenings made frantic by just one insomniac nightingale, how many liaisons gone down screaming in a stroll beside the ruined nunnery. A kingfisher's burnished plunge. The color of felicity afire came glancing like an arrow through landscapes of untended memory. Ardor illuminating with its terrifying currency, now no mere glimpse, no porthole vista, but down on down, the uninhabitable sorrow.
Poetry readers, I remember because I was one of them, scratched their heads and asked, "Where did this come from? Who is this person?" No poems like these had appeared on the scene in quite some time, if ever. Curiosity was piqued. People wanted to find out more about the new author and to see more of her work. In The Sun Underfoot Among the Sundews,